I'm Shane.
I'm Bo.
We are Kentucky Fried Critics.
Yeah, welcome back, everybody. Episode 13.
That's right. I don't care what anybody says. It's always been a lucky number of mine.
Yeah, it's a cool number.
All right, let's go ahead and get into this. We'll start with socials like we always do.
Yeah,
so we got...
You all know how this game is played by now.
Yeah, we always got to make sure you guys can find us anywhere you might want to try to find us. So Facebook is going to be where we start. Facebook and Instagram. Because, again, both of those are roughly the same. It's going to be Kentucky Fried Critics. No spaces, no hyphens, no anything. Just Kentucky Fried Critics.
Boring.
You can search for us at both places that way or spaced out. You'll probably find us either way. But, you know, like if you're typing in URLs, it's going to be single, no spacing, no hyphens, no anything. After that's where we get YouTube. YouTube's going to be a little bit different. If you're doing it by URL, it's going to be /@KF Critics. Somebody had that. Could be hyphens in the future once we find out what's happening with the people.
I wish y'all could see my face. Lit up at hyphens.
Once we know for sure what's going on with the people who have the other domain, we'll see what we do for sure there.
Nice.
And then lastly is going to be the one that will always be hyphenated.
Yay.
As far as I know.
My favorite one.
It's because it's just how Acast does their stuff. That's our website at Acast, the wonderful people who host this podcast.
Acast knows the superiority of the hyphen.
So our URL there is shows.acast.com/Kentucky-fried-critics. There's the hyphens.
Yes.
And then, of course, like we always like to let you know, if you're going to go further and then type the episodes in, you get even more hyphens because there's a hyphen between every word. So those ones where we get crazy with the title...
That's only for true legends, though.
You're typing
that's
out
the
a lot.
elite
You're typing
level.
out a lot of hyphens.
Those guys are cool, though.
It's like 12, 13, 14 hyphens deep at that point.
You got to earn your hyphens, man.
Last place we'll mention is email. We've gotten a few emails.
Nice.
So the email is KentuckyFriedCritics@gmail.com. Again, nice and simple, clean,
Nice and easy.
That's going to be the place that, again, if you want to drop like any kind of recommendations or ideas, probably better to do it there so that way other people aren't seeing it, especially if you already have both. If you figured out a beer and a movie for it.
Oh, yeah, definitely email it.
Or a drink and a movie, yeah, because we don't want people to know what we might
it ruins
do.
The game.
So yeah, if you have one of those, definitely send it to us by email. Everything else, it doesn't matter. Take your pick. Dealer's choice. We're not going to stop you. We can't. Literally.
No, I mean, that'd be really hard.
Yeah,
we're not that powerful yet.
But yeah, that's definitely all of the socials.
Nice. So, hey Shane, I got this screwdriver.
Man,
Whatever will we do with screwdrivers?
I needed to pop my daughter's trunk, but I don't.
Not that kind of screwdriver, man.
Yeah, I think there was a misunderstanding.
Oh. No, the screwdriver, with the vodka.
Ah, now I get it.
Yeah, because, like we weren't out of vodkas, so.
All right. In case that's still confusing for anybody.
Oh, it was probably very confusing.
Well, I don't know. I think this is a kind of movie that a lot of people know. This is, we're doing Son-in-Law. There's a scene in the movie. It's where
his dad meets
Pauly
Shore. Pauly Shore!
That's right. And so, for lack of a better choice of drinks to try to tie back.
Because they made the joke about, I need a screwdriver. He's like, sorry, bro, I'm all out of vodka.
And so, again, guys, this is just so you know our commitment.
Yep, we're committing to the bit, but sometimes we got to stretch.
And so, we won't tell you guys what vodka we're using, but we will let you know we are being college accurate. It is cheap.
So's the orange juice. This is all cheap.
We are being as accurate as we can for the movie because at least about not half, but pretty close to half of it takes place at the college.
Yeah, at the college.
Right?
The first 20 minutes maybe.
Yeah, maybe even 30. I mean, it's a decent clip before they actually get back to
the farm.
South Dakota.
South Dakota. Yeah.
I don't think we got a whole lot to... Let's go ahead and cover who's in the movie, I guess, before we get started, right?
Yeah.
We like to do that little roundup for everybody. So, obviously, we've already mentioned...
Pauly Shore.
The great Pauly Shore. This being his second outing. This is still not like... This is, don't get me wrong, famous Pauly Shore time. This is like getting towards the height of Pauly Shoredom. That being said, it was only the second movie. It was Encino Man, then this.
They're all great, but the funding went down from there, I'm going to say. I'm not going to say quality, because they're great, but he wasn't getting as much money to make these movies.
Next we'll go ahead and mention our other lead character, which is going to be Rebecca Warner, played by Carla Gugino. I'm not good with names.
I am terrible at names.
Don't come at me for it. I'm sorry. I'm trying. I want to give people credit where credit's due
long
as
as
best
we
I can.
spell it right in the description, that's all that matters.
Now we're gonna skip around a little bit because I want to go ahead and mention Patrick Renna, our favorite from The Sandlot.
My future best friend.
One can hope.
Right.
Playing the little brother Zach. Then we'll go ahead and mention Lane Smith playing Walter. It's the dad character. He's also in My Cousin Vinny, the lawyer.
The lawyer.
Next is Connie, played by Cindy Pickett. That's the mom.
I swear I've seen her in other stuff, but I couldn't think of it.
I'm not sure. You know me. Very little research. Again, we're lucky we have the names.
Yeah, I was looking, I was just like, you've been a mom in something else. I know you have.
Next, we'll jump to the rest. We'll close out the family. So that's going to be Mason Adams playing Walter Sr. Mason Adams, not known for a lot unless you love his voiceover work for commercials. He was the Smucker's Jam guy. He closed out the Smucker's. Yes. And he was also the Cadbury
Cream Egg guy.
Yeah, he was the one that closed it out with the, like, better than the Easter Bunny. Oh, he was also in Toy Soldiers, which is a movie I love from early 90s.
I don't think I've seen it.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think I've seen Toy Soldiers. I was thinking, when you told me earlier, I got it confused with Small Soldiers. The one where the little action figures come to life.
All right. Dude, you've never seen Toy Soldiers. Sean Astin has got a terrorist that take over a private prep school. It's also got Will Wheaton.
No, I've never seen this.
Dude, okay. It's one of my favorite. Okay, sorry, I got too excited. But yeah, dude, I can't believe you've never seen this movie. So again, that was Mason Adams.
Mason Adams
is the grandpa, as I said.
Pappy.
Yeah, Pappy. Then we got Tiffany Amber Thiessen, Kelly Kapowski herself.
Kapowski. Damn.
Looking hot as ever.
Oh, yeah.
She is a very minor character, but she definitely steals every scene when she shows up. You're just like, wow.
Wow, you are way too pretty to be here. What are you doing?
For this random character.
Right.
All right, yeah, we can definitely just roll right into everything then, guys.
What'd you think of your favorite bit, the music right
the
in the
opening
beginning?
Intro?
Yeah.
I would say it is classic movie intro fare.
Yeah.
But they just introduced the slightest little country twang, and especially with the yee-yees.
Yeah.
Yee-yee. No haws. It was just yees.
Just yee-yee.
It was just yees.
That would play now. Isn't that what they do now?
Yee. These were different yees, but
different
I'll give
yees,
you.
But well, yeah.
It was just yees. Indeed, sir.
I like when I'm right.
And it transitions straight from that into the speech.
The graduation ceremony
for Rebecca and Travis.
Yeah, and
Tracy.
They're all in the same class,
which is kind of hard to believe because Travis
looks like he's like 30 almost.
I don't know, but he definitely does not look like the same
18-year-old
age as these two girls at all. And of course, we're just hearing the most cliche
you are all caterpillars in your cocoons, and I heard you break free of your chrysalis.
And now you have to go
fly
into the world. The most cliche,
this is the
speech.
only thing I agreed with Travis in the entire movie when he's making the jerk offs.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
This is stupid.
Yeah. That principal gives that same speech every year.
Yeah.
It's never different. You know it.
Well, and Becca's valedictorian, and she gets to give a speech too. And
of course,
hers wasn't any better.
Again, they're usually not.
No.
Every now and then you get someone who really tries, but usually it's pretty cliche.
Yeah, no, and it ends with insert football team go here. Sport ball.
Yeah.
Woo.
The scene definitely lets us see, it cuts across her family.
Yeah, it's kind of the credits. I like this. They put everybody underneath each person.
Except for Pauly Shore, because he's not here.
He's not here yet.
But yeah, it does. It gives us everybody as we see him.
As it scrolls past them, which
it is a good way to do it. We see that it's loving family.
Yeah.
Dorky brother who's making fun of her.
Yeah.
Totally exactly what you expect.
My boy Patrick Renna.
But then we also see, for some reason, Theo? Yeah. The farmhand? Why is he
at her graduation?
I was like, this is weird, dude.
He's part of the family?
Is he, though? He doesn't even strike me as that kind of person.
No, he's just kind of the guy who works there. From the rest of the movie, it's not like he lives on the farm.
No. We do see that he was invited to Thanksgiving, but I feel like that was just a nicety.
Yeah.
Less so than it was that he's that close.
Yeah. They had to do it for the credits.
I guess so. Because if not, I was just like, this dude should not be here.
No.
I think it's so awkward.
I mean, he's not even that important of a character to warrant really being in the credits, really, you think about it.
Oh, I definitely don't think so.
No. His agent was good at negotiating, I guess.
I guess they were. we transition from them to finding out Becca has big plans.
Yeah, she's going to go to school all the way out in California.
California.
Did they say what city? I don't think they say.
No, it's not specific. Because all the conversation is that they're going to go to California, and the dad is just trying to be like, you can go to state. I mean, we don't even hear that they're in South Dakota yet. We find that out later. Like, we just hear him say you could go to state, so we know it's not California.
If you don't want to go here, it's fine. They'll take you. He really does not want her to go to California.
She has said, I got to do this, Dad. Got to be me.
About it.
I got to go.
He's like, but like the boys out there live different.
Yeah, they're faster.
Yeah, she's just like, you tried to tell me not to have sex, Dad, and he just kind of just like,
freezes up
and then leaves.
She's packing up her bags.
Right.
Almost forgets her pappy's
little horse thing, little whittle carving.
We see that her room is in a tower,
like a watchtower thing. The house is dope. It is
a farm.
A farmhouse, but it's like bright.
But then the back side of it
is a giant like lighthouse tower thing.
That's just her room.
Yeah, with just like surround windows and shit.
As far as we can tell, there's not even anything in the bottom part of it. It's literally it's just stairs up to her tower. That's it. It's separate from the rest of the house. It's not connected really. I mean, it is like when you look at it, but it doesn't seem like structurally. It literally looks like she must walk outside to a separate door to
then go up into her room.
It's so strange. It's cool.
It's dope, but it's really weird.
It's definitely not. I can't believe they don't spend more time trying to like showcase or talk about why this is her room.
Can we film more parts of this?
Did Pappy build this for her?
Yeah.
Then we find out that they're gonna drive her
from South Dakota all the way to California. That's a hell of a trip.
Not only are they doing it, but it's the whole family minus Pappy. So it's literally little brother, it's mom, it's dad, and Becca in a pickup truck. Not a fancy new. No, don't think like your daddy's F-250 with giant front cab.
It was like a 1979 four-doored Ford.
It did have two-row seating. I'll give it that.
Barely enough room to cram people into.
Well, especially when you figure that it's got all of her stuff for
college and
for a year, like 10 months of college. I was like, that's dedication.
Yeah, it is. And she flies home.
Yeah, it was
when they come back for Thanksgiving, she flies. So it's not like they couldn't have just
she didn't need to. She wouldn't have the stuff to fill up her dorm room.
Well, I guess
she was just going home.
That's true.
They would have drove up to get her at the end of the semester, at the end of the year. Well, I certainly think it was a little much to take the whole family.
Yeah, the little brother probably didn't want to go. And
we find out why. We find out why he went. They tricked him. It's a 2-second and then it's gone. He gets to go to Disneyland while they're in California.
You don't carry that, or you don't get to go to Disneyland.
So we know why he's there. That's the only reason. They promised him if he went with them whenever they were done moving her in, he got to go to Disneyland. That's why he's there. He wouldn't be there for any other reason.
No, I wonder if they followed through on that.
I don't know. We don't get to see.
Bet they didn't.
Of course not.
Fuck no.
Before we move away from them and the drive, though, I want to say when the drive first started, how fucked up the mom was, though. Like, they pull off their property right onto the highway, not interstate highway, right? Yeah. It definitely is like a 2-lane highway or something. Like, it's a pretty major roadway.
Yeah.
And when he makes the left turn, she said, don't you think you're going the long way?
Right.
And I was just in my head like, it's either a left or a right. That is either the right way or the wrong way, not the short way. Yeah, I was like, there's no short way, long way. That's right way, wrong way. I digress.
How do we get to California, east or west? Let's go east.
It'd be different if we saw them like pulling out into like a town or something, but it did. It looked like a big enough roadway that they would be on it for a while. Right? Like it was definitely like they'd be taking it for a good distance. Yeah, so we see the trip when it's basically over. They get to California. Of course, we have to have one joke. Small town hit California traffic and they can't handle it.
No idea how to handle traffic.
Drives them insane the second they get there.
It was all peaceful and shit. And then just like, here, California, here we come. And
everybody
freaking out.
Can't handle it. Yeah, so we see they get to campus. When they get there, they're going to move all the luggage upstairs. Yeah, Zach's like, I'm not going to move any. That's when we hear the Disneyland threaten he's not going to get to go to Disneyland. This is crazy to me. Like, again, like this, it didn't look like move-in day.
No.
Like, you see a couple of other parents in the background, but for the most part,
a lot of people were just already settled.
It looked like the middle of
semester. Yeah.
I thought so too, dude.
Especially dude walking out of the shower bare ass.
That would not have been on a move-in day. Nobody would have done that on a move-in day. I don't care. I don't care how ballsy the guy is. He wouldn't have done that on a move-in day.
No.
Early 90s movies about college life are always like this. And I'm like, is this really was it really that lawless? Or is it just, are they going to extremes? Because I don't know. By the time I got to college, it was definitely not like that.
I went to a community college, so it wasn't like that either.
Well, and it's co-ed, right?
Co-ed
but
dorms.
It was co-ed on the same floor. Like, I did co-ed dorm, but it was definitely like every other floor, right? Yeah. It was weird. Her RA was a guy.
And he was right across the hall from her.
Blew my mind. I was like, I don't understand this college. Yeah, so we see that
it's LA. It's a different world, man.
But either way, definitely it's a lot for her parents to take in.
Dad does not want her here.
They are freaking out.
He is just all like,
the whole way.
This is the opportunity you wanted for our daughter and shit.
Until he sees that the RA's next door.
Yeah, he's excited. At least she'll be
that.
next to somebody responsible.
He gets inside. He realizes he needs to get the trunk open.
And Zach didn't bring the keys.
So he has to go next door. So he's like, all right, well, he just needs to find a screwdriver.
Hey, screwdriver.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we're going to jump ahead just a little bit. He needs to get a screwdriver. He goes next door. He freaks out when he meets Pauly Shore.
Pauly Shore.
He's Pauly Shore playing Crawl.
Crawl.
This is not the Weasel.
Nope, this is Crawl.
Don't be confused. They are the same. I think some of the clothes could be the same.
Yeah. They're interchangeable, in my opinion.
I mean, that's the same character.
Right.
Come on now. This is literally...
I think Crawl's a better nickname.
Well,
really.
they even literally make the joke later that it is the same guy. And I mean, he is.
Yeah.
He's the same. This is essentially the guy from Encino Man, but in college, not high school. But so then the dad freaks out when he sees Crawl hanging upside down. It was so good.
It's got like little moose
But so he tells him he needs a screwdriver.
Pauly Shore is like, sorry, I'm all out of vodka.
And that's when the dad, much like I tried to poorly maybe convey across, was like, no, I need to pop my daughter's trunk. Like,
you got a daughter. Is she hot? I'll keep an eye on her for you. My name's Crow. He goes to shake his hand. He does the little hand.
And then he starts yelling, "Don't leave me hanging!"
Bro, come back! Don't leave me hanging, man.
Because he was hanging, doing that weird early '90s exercise thing.
You hang upside down and do sit-ups, fucking
and again,
American Psycho style.
And I don't buy that Pauly Shore could have do that.
No, he just liked to hang upside down, so the blood rushed to his head. Felt weird.
But so then the dad runs back next door to his daughter's room.
He wants to get her out of here.
We'll go ahead and we'll address what happened when they first got to the room. The brother pulls out the underwear
from the
first his sisters.
His sisters,
which was weird and creepy.
And then the roommates.
And then the roommates' panties, and then her bra. And then, of course, when the roommate comes back in and she introduces herself, she's holding her bra. Awkward.
Awkward as fuck.
She says she'll be back. And then she comes back right when the dad comes back.
And he's already freaked out.
He's already freaked out. She's like, oh, everybody, I want to introduce you to my girlfriend. They all get a little bit nervous. And then they start to kiss. And literally everybody starts watching. I mean, mom, dad, brother, everyone except for the actual roommate.
Right. She's the one that's just kind of
She's embarrassed for them. The other three are watching like this is fucking HBO porn.
Right.
They are glued to these two making out. They're like...
Zach's just like, Dad, please tell me you brought the camera.
Yeah, no, Zach had to take it the one
extra step into perv.
Yeah, like he was... Yeah, you did
too much, boy. Sit down.
We didn't need that.
No, we didn't need that.
So obviously, it's a lot. It's a lot.
They're in a different world entirely.
I want to point out right now, though, it doesn't seem like it's the first day of class, right?
No, it seems like she's been there for a while.
So the roommate is part of this whole like not feeling like it's the first. Like it doesn't feel like it's the beginning of the semester.
No, because she got the phone call and she's like, communal living.
Like she's been here before.
She's been here forever.
And again, you would assume usually freshmen get roomed with freshmen. That's usually because they want everybody to be on an equal footing. They don't want you to feel uncomfortable with somebody who's been there.
Yeah.
And so you're just like, so they're both freshmen. Why is she so comfortable with like being here?
Shouldn't her parents be there too, dropping her off? But the room's already
perfectly set up. You know, that computer looks like it's been there. It doesn't look like
there's knickknacks on the shelves.
So unless she just like showed up a couple of days early and she's just acting that conceited about like, oh, I'm just used to it.
Yeah, I adapt quickly, unlike some people. I'm very sorry if you're not.
Which there are definitely.
I didn't get the vibe that
and I didn't either. But there are definitely that type of people. Yeah, there's definitely
people that way.
I don't know what they were going for, but it was very kind of weird. Parents realize they got to finally say their goodbyes. They take off.
Yeah.
We get a scene of still just crazy parties
Yeah, just everybody's out in the hall. He's got the bullhorn and stuff.
Yeah.
He's just like, there will be no partying between the time of 5 a.m. and 6 a.m. in this hallway without my express written permission.
Which means there can always be a party.
Yeah.
He doesn't care.
No.
We see, again, this is why I was saying, like, I don't know the difference between college in the early 90s and the early 2000s whenever I got there a decade later, but this seems insane. Like, to me, nobody would have partied on a college floor.
Yeah, just out.
Like, maybe in a college room,
but
you still would have been pretty quiet
out in the hallway and shit.
That I don't. But again, he's the
kids
RA.
In the 90s ruined it for everybody.
You know, he's the RA. So
Yeah.
what?
Maybe that's the only floor in the entire college that's getting away with it.
What were we saying?
This is when he sees and he's
yeah,
following her with the camera.
He follows her with the camera and he realizes who she is. He's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I needed to talk to you.
Yeah.
I got something for you." He pulls out the screwdriver and he's like, he says something about charisma. He
Right.
said, "You seem like you've got
Got a lot of charisma."
And he says it right when he pulls the thing out of his
She's
pocket.
like pulling
And
a
she
knife
says,
out. What's that for?
"Well, it's not a knife. It was definitely
A multi-tool.
Multi-tool. Yeah. And he pulls the multi-tool out and she goes, 'What's that?' That's all she says, because that's why he gives the definition of charisma. Because he thought she was asking what charisma was. Charisma. It's a special quality of leadership that captures the popular imagination, inspires allegiance and devotion.
And she's like, no, the thing in your hand. No, this is to pop your trunk. And then he asks her if she's inbred.
Well, no. Let's not skip. He also, while all this is going on, he was like, "What's your name again?" Your dad told me. Wait, Sally? Jesse?
Raphael?
And then she, this is when he officially gives her the new nickname of Becca. She does not go by it yet.
No,
she definitely
Rebecca up to
she
this
holds
point.
and she holds firm. She does not. Becca is her transition name.
Yep.
When she
turns
becomes
into
LA
LA
chic.
girl.
Yeah, when she's LA chic, she is Becca.
Right.
Until then, she is still Rebecca.
Sweet, innocent farm girl.
That's right.
Rebecca.
Girl next door.
Yeah.
In the sweet way, not the
Not the porn way.
yeah. We got to be clear.
Gotta be real clear, you freaks.
Yeah, we know. That's all the scene was really for. It lets us see that she meets him. She thinks he's just as weird as the dad
he's
thought he
weird.
was. But he did open the trunk.
You did get the trunk
He at
open.
least did do that for her. Then we see Becca calls home because she's super freaked out. She
Yeah.
can't handle school. We have no idea how long this is. This is not immediately after what we just saw, but this is sometime still during the beginning of school
Yeah.
when she makes the phone call. I only make this point because we do make a jump here in a minute. A jump that I never realized happens in this movie, and it almost makes everything make so little sense.
Right.
But so right now, it's definitely still really close to the beginning of school because
Yeah.
she's like I don't know if I can stay because I feel so awkward and out of place. So she's gonna call home. She calls Travis.
Yeah. Who's obviously about to go out on a date somewhere. Because when he
or something.
She
It's
should have
certainly-
suspected something.
It's certainly really late.
Yeah.
Late enough that she should maybe have been asking
some questions.
because when he answers the phone, he
like,
clearly says that
I'm
he's
coming.
meeting somebody.
Yeah. I told you I was coming. Hang on.
And again, it probably plays way more uncomfortably awkward in our heads because he looks like he's 30, not 18.
Not 18 like he's supposed to be.
But even then, she should have realized something was up for sure.
Yeah,
though.
she
When
should have been
called
asking
him,
some questions like, well, who where are you going? Who are you going to go hang out with?
and instead he's barely reassuring to her.
No.
He literally just kind of writes her off. Like, come on, honey. It's too soon for you to make judgments.
Yeah.
You're silly. Just get over it.
We'll see each other on Thanksgiving, all this shit.
Writes her off. Just barely talks to her. Again, because he's a bad dude and he was most likely about to go see Tracy.
Yeah, that's exactly who he was going to go see. It was Tracy.
But
But here's the skip.
this is, so
The
the
time
next
skip.
The time skip. Well, yeah, we'll go ahead and just say that. We go from it being clearly sometime in the first week, I would say,
Yeah.
2 weeks tops
August.
for that phone call,
Right.
right? To
Halloween.
October. Clearly has to be the last week of October because they are doing a costume party.
Yeah, everybody's all dressed up,
Sign says Halloween bash.
right?
What? But the other reason I want to bring this up is to point out that means because what we're about to see here is that she has still not made a change. She is still
she's still
farm
wearing
girl.
the
She's
skirts
wearing
and the
pink,
sweaters.
frilly, silly outfits.
Yeah.
She's still farm girl.
She is still Rebecca.
And she is about to now make the decision to start changing after a conversation. We'll do all this justice in a moment, but I just
Yeah.
want to make the point that means that we are going to be making a change to what we see in the movie in 20 days or less.
Yeah, she went full California in 20 days.
She goes full change. As a kid, I thought this was always like 3 months.
Wait, yeah, like
it was literally it was that she had the conversation with him the first week
day,
of school.
And then like a week later they had this costume party
thing and just kept going.
And then they just kept but no, it's like 20 days. Yeah, I didn't notice it until you pointed it out.
Massive change in 20 days. It's nuts. We'll go back. Well, we don't want to get too far out of ourselves. So we see the Halloween bash. We see Pauly Shore, Crawl walking around. Chiquita Banana?
Yeah, Chiquita Banana lady.
Girl. Yeah.
That's definitely what that is.
He's got the fruit basket on his
head and shit.
Important to point out, there's also a frog. He walks in the door and immediately sees Brendan Fraser.
Brendan fucking Fraser.
Totally.
Clearly Link from Encino
Man. And now I don't know if they were saying he is a guy in that costume and therefore Encino Man exists in this world, which has me many questions about Pauly Shore. Because Pauly looks at him and says, I love your costume. So I don't understand, like, if that's not what he said, what costume did Crawl think he was in?
Kurt Cobain? Maybe?
I don't know.
Possibly.
But so then we see what we'll definitely just say is Link.
Yeah.
Link looks at Pauly Shore, no words, grunts, grabs the frog off of the thing, pulls out the lighter,
kind of roasts it
for a half second. Because again, it's plastic, so you can't. But then takes a bite out of something that definitely leaves texture, not plastic in his mouth. I don't know what kind of frog they wanted.
Something. He bit part of it.
But so he eats part of the frog and walks out, and then we see this moment where Crawl / Weasel / Pauly Shore / one of the 1,000 personalities, because they're all rolling into one for this beautiful moment. And he goes, no. Huh?
No.
Walks off. And we set up this happens forever.
Yep.
We see it again and in the army now.
Yep.
And it's even better.
Well, they're friends in real life.
Yeah,
so.
well, and it's even better and in the army now. Like, this one was kind of funny. He pulls out the frog and and we get it. And in the army now, I just want to, like, in case we don't ever get there, I want to say this because a lot of people don't pay attention to how beautiful it was in the army now. Because he's eating chicken and he asked Pauly Shore for his chicken from the army meal plate. And he says, I want your chicken. Tastes like frog. See, most people just saw the Brendan Fraser of it all and didn't pay attention to what he was saying. But that is such a beautiful line.
Yeah.
Always got to go back to eating the frog.
Go back to eating the frog, man. You do it one time. It's like Ozzy with the bat. Now he's got to bite.
You do it once. That's all people know.
That's all
you for.
Everybody thinks of.
But so we then go. We see that during the. Let's get back on track.
Yeah, let's get back to the movie.
We see though right after the Brendan Fraser biting the frog. Yeah, we see that Becca comes in. Rebecca comes in. This is, as we stated, this is a farm girl.
Yeah.
This conversation she's going to have shortly is what inspires her to change.
People think it's a costume. They're just like, oh, we have a country washerwoman. I get it.
Yeah. Someone drops the beer into her laundry basket. That's crazy. Oh, did you notice this? I want to point this out. The
guy dressed as an Indian?
Yeah, do you know who it was?
I recognize him. I can't think of his name. I've seen him in all kinds of shit.
He's Adam Goldberg. Not that Adam Goldberg. Not the one from the show. He is in Days... Dude, we'll get back on track since that joke didn't land. Wait. I can tell you right now. This is Adam Goldberg, is the Native American. He is the guy in Dazed and Confused. He's the one who had the weird sex dream of the friend had the weird sex dream.
Yeah.
Of him, but with Abraham Lincoln, and yeah, he's the other friend. He's the nervous friend, the with the black hair and talks really fast. But that segues into the other thing that you definitely know him from, which is Friends. He's the person who moved in when Joey moved out, and he dehydrated weird things,
everything.
And he was really strange, and they had to get rid of him. All right, but yeah, so regardless of who it was that she stumbled into in the hallway, and who was playing that Native American chief,
little cameo,
she finally does end up making it to her dorm room, and you can tell she was quite shocked
that it's full of people partying, and there's a keg even. There's a keg in her room.
She thought her room was gonna be the safe haven.
Yeah, the nice safe spot, but no, it's all.
No, her roommate was like, "I'm sorry,
it just kind of happened."
And as she said it, she's turning and looking, and she sees fat man sit on her pappy's horse.
Yeah, the horse he whittled for. His legs is broken. We're gonna have to put it down now.
It was so sad, and she freaks out.
Oh yeah, she's pissed.
She turns. She's She's done with everything.
Yeah,
she's about to leave. Crawl sees her.
Yeah, Crawl sees her.
He notices.
Yeah, he's like, oh,
he
what's
can
going
tell things
on?
aren't good.
She's like,
so he finally lives up to the RA.
Yeah.
Right? He's finally being an RA.
Because she's like, I'm leaving. I'm calling home.
I'm done.
I'm done. He's like, all right, just hang on. Just give me 5 minutes. And if you
go.
don't like what I have to say, then you can make your phone call.
They go to his dorm room,
which is also full of people.
Yeah, and he runs them out.
He runs them all out, and they're like, man, he's like, make Goldilocks naked 2 doors down, and then, yay. So they're fine with it.
He gives her the speech. He lays down on her like, look, I was you.
Yeah, he pulls the little picture out as well. She's like, oh my God, you were a nerd.
And we find out that a lot of information right now, right?
Yeah.
We find out he was a nerd. He's now 6 years into college.
Yeah, he's been here for like 6 years.
Whoa.
He's majored in a little bit of everything.
But he lays down on her the knowledge that she's her worst enemy right now.
Yeah.
She's not been embracing the idea.
Yeah, because he asks her, he's like, why'd you even come out here?
Because you wanted to try something new.
How you going to do that if you've never left campus?
If you've not tried anything new.
Yeah, she's just like, oh, you're right.
But so this is, as I pointed out before, the point where we notice that she literally makes this massive transformation from today.
Yeah.
Sometime within 3 days of Halloween.
Yeah, easily.
And Thanksgiving.
Which is
at
like
best 25 days later. At best. Because again, Thanksgiving is one of those floating holidays.
Even a month.
What?
She dove headfirst into it.
When she finally did.
Yeah,
she went way in.
When she finally flicked that switch, is like, I'm gonna do this. She dove headfirst.
So we see the first thing that Crawl tells her is we gotta change your clothes.
Yeah, gotta get rid
first,
of the...
First, you gotta change your mentality.
Yeah.
Right? And so he takes her to a thrift. Well, we don't actually see that's a thrift shop, but we can assume by his clothes,
by his style,
and like how people were in the early '90s about like that kind of style.
Kind of shit.
It was definitely in a thrift shop, piecing together like crazy old outfit.
Got to get the weasel wear,
as he called it, hence proving
this is the same fucking person.
He's all the characters at once.
Yeah,
somehow magical. Pauly Shore. But yeah, so we see
just Pauly Shore, isn't that? This is
that is magic.
Yeah,
Pauly Shore is magic. That's what I was saying. That's what I was getting at. They get their clothes, but I want to point out they got her new clothes and then she threw away her old clothes.
She just throws them in a trash can.
And again, like this is the era of piecing together crazy outfits.
Yeah.
Like, couldn't she have just like figured out a way to make those work?
Especially with that skirt.
Did she have to
just
toss
cut it a little shorter?
That's what I was like. It's just the era of like cutting things and like this and that.
Yeah,
and like
safety pinning holes back together. We used to do it all the time.
I was like, what is she doing?
Like, I tore my pants. Get a box of safety pins and just pin it back together.
I'm surprised that they didn't have Crawl get upset at her for throwing the clothes away.
No,
well, I could have used that.
Yeah, we could do this with it. Because he's totally that guy.
And so as soon as they step outside, though, she sees a woman walk by with a haircut. Because again, she's all in. As soon as she sees this haircut, she's like, I want that hair.
I want that hair. And I like the guy when they go to the thing, he cuts the ponytail off and then holds it up and like starts yelling like he's scalped. He's like, yeah,
and she does. It's a drastic change.
Yeah.
Well, once you get the hair, once you get the hair and the clothes,
and she's just
new person.
Yeah, rollerblading down Venice Beach, having a good time. Now
we also have to get the tattoo.
Oh yeah, we almost forgot.
We can't forget. Flea.
The great Flea is in this movie.
I love Flea's acting.
Yeah,
and it's always so small.
Yeah,
it's always roles like
a
this.
Tiny role,
but it's I think he's always great.
Right.
He's also Needles in Back to the Future.
Yeah, she's like, I want something feminine. He's just kind of like
he's standing
right next to me.
And then Pauly Shore calls him out on the.
He's like, oh, come at me.
Me.
Look at him. The ink goes to your head. Makes you freak. You freak. He's like, yeah, that's a good point.
Because Flea does. He plays just this like brain dead zombie guy.
Yeah, just zombie dude all the time.
She gets her tiny butterfly tattoo
on her leg.
So cliche.
Yeah.
So early 90s cliche. Definitely.
Right.
It's even before that was a phrase, but that's what she was.
That's the precursor to basic bitchdom.
Definitely.
These are your ancestors, ladies.
We see that now everything is complete, though. Her change. That's when we see rollerblading down Venice Beach to really like. Again, we're driving home. What era we're in?
Yeah,
it's the early 90s.
Early 90s.
They hang out on the beach. We see him checking out a chick. She grabs the binoculars and immediately sees the guy who has bigger titties than the chick did.
Right? Because he's all like steroided out.
Well, exactly. She's like, how'd he get so big?
He's like, steroids.
we see a lot of fun scenes, but basically it's just to let us know she's made the change.
And they're besties now.
They're best friends. They close it out with the
mud wrestling. Yeah.
They go to the mud wrestling, and she enters
Crawl into it.
Now, the beauty here is she did not even know that she was entering him into the match that was
with the big bitch.
Yeah, with the King Kong woman that she was. And he didn't notice until it was way too late.
Yeah.
Like, he was still excited when he was being spun on her shoulder because he had not seen her face yet. Or her body.
As soon as
he did not know.
Her, he's like,
well, because he knew he was in trouble. It went from, this is super exciting and fun, to I'm going to get really hurt.
She's going to hurt me. That's a big bitch.
And he does. He gets thrown around that ring a little bit.
Tosses him around the whole way.
Classic Pauly Shore, like just freak out in the mud. It was good.
No, get her away from me. Get me away from you.
We finish out in the mud wrestle.
Yeah.
And we see her. We see back in the dorm room, right?
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden she is Miss Popularity. Everybody knows her. Dude walks into the room. It's just a mimic of
the beginning.
Of the beginning. He's like,
you got a phone call.
Communal living. It was.
Yeah.
Almost obnoxious.
It was.
Right? Almost obnoxious. And she goes out, she answers the phone.
It's Travis.
It's Travis. And now
she didn't even recognize him.
And
She's
the tables have turned.
Who is this?
You can tell she doesn't want to talk to him. She's done with him before she goes home.
Yeah.
And we know this from this scene.
Yeah.
You know, the whole rest of the movie, they play it out like maybe she wasn't.
But no, from this scene,
you can tell she's already done.
Because he's hinting like, oh, well, we got a lot to talk about.
I'd like to think that while she was making this change, she just personally reflected and understood he was a crappy person.
Probably.
And like, you know, like...
he doesn't hide it very much.
Small pond. She didn't have a lot of choices, right? She's in the bigger waters. She doesn't have to settle for...
The captain,
Travis.
The captain of the Lincoln County football team.
Was he though?
Yes, he keeps wearing that Letterman jacket even though he's out of high school.
Again, it feels worse because he
fucking looks 30.
Yeah. So it seems like he's super douchey. Yeah. So she talks to him on the phone.
Yeah.
She, again, very done with it.
She is.
He's super excited. So I got something I want to talk to you about.
Yeah.
When we get back when you get back from for the week.
Why do these people get such long fucking Thanksgiving breaks?
Same thing, right? With Dutch last week.
Dutch last week is like 2 weeks. This week's a week. When are we gonna get one that's real? 3 fucking days.
Right? Like even in college, I did not get a week. Which again, this one's college. Dutch was at least in like some kind of
private school,
like a middle school or something, junior high. But yeah, this one's college. But I still didn't get a week in college. I don't know where this ideal dream world they live in is.
No.
But yeah, so he mentions a whole week. As soon as he starts to talk about the week, and she looks up, and we see Pauly Shore. He runs out in the scene wearing his pajamas. Steven Tyler PJs. Steven Tyler PJs. Great.
Yeah.
And so she gets off the phone because obviously you can't keep talking when something like that happens.
Way too much stuff.
He's wearing the pilgrim hat.
Yeah, the pilgrim hat and everything.
So she goes to talk to him because again they're besties now.
Yeah.
And she's like, "What are you gonna be doing?"
I'm gonna sit here and eat my my Hungry Man. Like, see, check it out. Like 50% more meat. See, because like they know what they're doing. Sing it with me, the Hungry Man theme. Come on.
It's all good. Don't worry. My sister's just a pit boss in Vegas.
Basically, he's gonna sit in his dorm room
because he doesn't really have.
He doesn't
family.
have anywhere to go.
And so she like, no, you're not.
You're gonna come home. You're gonna come home. You're going with me.
We see that she brings him home. They get off the plane. Literally, as soon as she gets off the plane, her family does not even recognize her.
Is that her?
Well, it's not even right away with that.
Right?
Like she gets off the plane and she's yelling to them. She's
like,
yelling,
"What's up,
my buddies?" And they're not answering her, so she keeps just yelling crazy instead of trying to be herself. Like, well, not herself.
What they thought of.
Instead of being Rebecca, so they would know
who she was.
She keeps giving
hard
Becca.
Hard Becca.
And they literally, the mom finally is like, I think that's her.
her.
I think that's our daughter. The dad is just like,
no.
But it is. And so they finally welcome her, and she's like, oh, and I brought my friend. And again, you can tell they're all thinking, female.
Yeah,
female
probably
friend.
the roommate.
Right? That's what they're thinking.
Yeah.
Paul gets off the plane, and they're all like, what?
What the fuck? It's a dude.
Dad still hasn't pieced together.
No.
That's the RA. Until Pauly gets up and he goes, don't worry, popped your daughter's trunk.
Oh, shit.
Oh, I know this one.
Right, as he recognizes him, then he's like, "Oh, god damn it, it's that guy."
Fuck.
Fuck.
And then we see they all load up again in this fucking pickup truck,
Right.
dude. 9 deep or something. It's so insane that it's always this
They
truck.
throw Pauly Shore in the back.
In the back. I don't know if they were trying to. This is one of those. I love the musical choice, right?
Yeah.
I love the Green Acres.
The Green
theme
Acres
song.
choice, yes.
And he's singing it. I want to know though, were they blasting it in the truck? Or is it just that he was
him?
singing it and we got the real accompaniment? I'm fine either way. I'm not trying to say it needs to be changed. I wanted the full song. I love that he is singing the song.
Right.
I just want to know if in universe
It was just
being
blaring out
played.
of the truck.
Yeah, if they were adding to the irony.
Yeah.
Or if it was all just him and they were listening. Because technically, it's almost funnier if they would have let us know that they didn't hear the song and they were just
He's
hearing
just out
him
there singing the fucking song.
at the top of
They're
his
just
lungs.
in the truck driving, and he's out there. Green Acres is the place for me. And they're just like, what the fuck is he doing?
Because he even bangs.
He
Because he
bangs
does
on the
audibly
truck.
bang.
Yeah.
We hear that. He bangs on the truck.
He's super excited. He's never been out in the country like this before.
Yeah, he is he is supposed to be our true. Well, actually, I don't think LA his whole life. But again, much like
City.
much like she adopted it real quick. When he finally did, when he went from nerd to crawl,
crawl.
he adopted it hard, fast and quick, much like she did.
Yeah, man. All you gotta do is like ditch the spectacles, grow out the Duke, guzzle some brew. There you go.
Enough said.
Yeah, that's the key to success. Just do that.
Do those 3 things.
Those 3 things.
Unless you don't have glasses.
Yeah, I do. This is why I suck.
Then you got to get new threads, right? That was the change.
Yeah, you gotta get some new gear, right? Like, cause my shit's looking pretty rustic right now, bro.
So then they finally show up at the farm.
He
He
hears chickens and he gets super.
he gets
fucking
super excited. He tries to get the dad to take video of him
Right,
rolling in the dirt,
out
So
swimming on the dirt. I don't know
yeah.
what
Then he was
doing.
half surfing on the dirt.
Right.
He was just all over the place. Too much, too quick.
He's just being Pauly
Too
Shore.
much, too quick, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, it was way too much. But so Pappy gets to see him first time. Pappy is definitely like, what the fuck
is
did my
that?
granddaughter just bring home?
Right.
He gets to meet Theo. Theo, a dick from
Day one.
From moment one. And again, guys, I want to say nobody liked him.
No, but
everybody was like, "Who is this? What did she bring?"
he's weird.
But they're all like cordial,
Yeah,
Midwestern,
polite.
Midwestern polite, right?
Like,
nobody's
you're weird, but I'm not gonna be mean.
Theo?
Doesn't give a fuck. He's just like, what the fuck are you? Get off me.
Theo is just cold blooded,
Right.
dude. From moment one.
When he first meets him and stuff, because he goes up to the bull, he tells him not to go up there.
Yeah.
And then he's all Kroll's all like, "Oh, thanks for saving me and stuff," and he fucking pushes him off and he's like, goes for the handshake, and for no reason, Theo's just like, "All right," and crunches his hand.
Yes, that's right. That's
I
right.
hate it when people do shit
Dick
like
from
that.
Dick from Square One.
Right? It's like you go shake. You've had to have had it
Oh,
happen.
definitely.
They go and they squeeze it. It's like, dude, what the fuck are you doing?
Why are we trying to
Why-
prove something right now? What is this?
Right.
What kind of flex is this?
Right? Oh, ooh, I can crush your hand.
All right.
All right, cool. I can kick you in the balls. You really want to go somewhere with this, man?
Theo is just above and beyond.
Yeah, above and beyond. a
He's
dick.
definitely setting up some of the dickheaded nature we see
Yeah.
come from him later on in the movie. We're finally starting to try to get settled down.
Yeah.
They get inside, and Dad tells Crawl, "You're gonna be staying in Zach's room," which I thought was outrageous because
Yeah.
right now they just think he's a friend, literally, like no more, because Travis was at the airport with them, so they don't have any reason to assume
That
anything.
Yeah.
Later we know what Crawl tells them, but right now,
He's just friend from college.
so why
What's wrong with
would
the
why
couch?
why would well not even that, why would the dad's assumption be that Crawl, he said it like he was like, "You're not going to be staying in
Sleeping
the
in
room
my-
with my daughter," and
Yeah.
again, like right now that wouldn't even be the assumption.
No.
So what? Like he's just, I don't know. They're just definitely wanting us to see he's like going overboard because he's
Yeah.
just like, what the fuck is
What
wrong?
the fuck is this guy?
We see him and his wife have.
Do they try to?
We see them a few times having private conversations, right? But this is the first one where they're like, "Holy shit, what did we do?
What is this?
What happened? Why is she doing that?" She's calling them by their first names.
name.
Walter and
Connie.
Connie, yeah, Walter and Connie, and they're both like, "No, I'm not having this.
No.
I'm not having this at all." Once they find out sleeping arrangements and a private conversation, we see Crawl is like, "Oh, will someone point me to
The kitchen.
Someone point me to the kitchen. I'm hungry." Because they said he could make himself a home. So
We're
he
gonna
starts
munch
to
on
make
some
himself.
grindage.
Yes, first time he drops it. Again, this is
Another Pauly Shoreism.
Pauly Shoreism, right? Because it started in Encino Man.
Yeah.
It's in this. I think it's in Goofy movie. I don't know. It follows him.
Most of his
It's
movies.
definitely, it probably has to be mentioned in the Army now once, right?
Oh, I'm sure.
That one I feel like definitely he drops a lot of his random references. After Pauly Shore gets his sandwich made, Crawl he makes a sandwich. He goes upstairs. He's going to be in Zach's room. We're just going to follow these scenes.
He has 2 sandwiches. He's got
got
one
2.
For the kid.
That's right. We're going to follow him up here, and then we'll go out to the barn because then they kind of meet together.
Yeah.
But right now it's him. He goes up to the room. He's got the sandwiches.
He's trying to be nice.
Like, hey man, since we're rooming together, I figured I made a sandwich. I got you. I can't remember how he said it, but he's like sandwich times 2 or something.
Yeah.
He's like, I got 2, and he's like,
No.
I don't want your sandwich. And then we hear the computer start talking.
Yeah. Hello, Zach.
And he's like, you got this operating system?
Yeah. Don't touch my computer. Now it's time to go over the rules.
Yeah. And he's trying to, and it's so awful because Crawl's just trying.
Yeah. He's
trying to
be
connect.
so nice.
Because he's like, hey, I've got to stay in your room. Let's make the best of it. No, not at all.
No, Zach's not having it. Rule 1. Don't touch any of my stuff. What's rule number 2? There is no rule number 2. And then Crawl's just like, have you ever seen the Tooth Fairy? No, I wouldn't go to sleep tonight. And he starts screaming for his mom.
And again, like, I don't know what Crawl thought would happen because he got really in his face. Yeah, like, I'd have been scared as a kid. Don't know this person coming up in my space like that.
Telling me not to go to sleep. I just screamed for my mom too, but he's just like, dude, no, chill, relax, buddy.
We'll stick with them for a moment. In the movie, they kind of cut away, but it's a quick cutaway. We don't need to worry. We'll go to all of that when we need to. Then, though, what happens is Zach's computer has a crash, malfunction, something.
It's just saying error over
and so
over
now's
again.
when Pauly Shore's Crawl's like, let me show you.
I can show you a shortcut.
I got a trick,
but I gotta touch your.
You're gonna have to let me. You're gonna let me do it. Like, I guess.
Fine.
You think you can, and he does.
In like 5 seconds,
fixes it. Boom.
Like 5 keys.
And so that's when he's like, yeah, I used to be a computer person.
Yeah,
I know what I'm doing.
He's like, oh, see. You're just an old hacker like me, but you just look like an idiot. He's like, yeah, basically.
And so now we'll go ahead. We'll deal with what was happening outside.
Because in the barn with Travis and Becca.
Yeah. Travis and Becca go out to the barn.
Because Travis is like, who the fuck is this guy?
He wants to know what's going on. He steps in some shit.
Yeah,
as soon as he walks in the door.
As soon as he walks in, a big pile of cow shit.
But so she's like, he's just a friend. It's not a big
he
deal.
Didn't have any,
don't worry. Had nowhere to go.
Nowhere to go.
I wanted to help him. And then we can see Travis is hinting at big things. He wants to talk about big things. And then he surprises at dinner. Yeah. Be ready.
She knows what that.
She can tell. She knows.
Freaks out about it. She's just like, oh, I'm dizzy. Okay, I'm gonna sit down. He's like, oh, okay, well, it's been long. Go take a nap and shit. And so I'll see you tonight.
That's her segue to get the hell out of there.
Yeah, she's just trying to get the fuck out of there.
She goes upstairs. She runs into her brother's room. Yeah. So we get to see she runs in right at that's the end of our conversation about computers. They're friends now. Yeah. She tells Zach, she's like, look, I need to talk to him. He's like, this is my room.
She's like, look, let me talk to him or I'm telling mom where you keep your Playboys.
Look, this is my new friend. You can't tell me what to do.
Right. I like that. Crawl's just like, yo, dude, don't hold out on me. What month?
I got a subscription.
Right. My dude.
But so he leaves unwillingly, takes his sandwich.
Yeah, he did take the sandwich. I saw that.
Because they're friends.
They're bros now.
But so she tells Crawl like
dude, he was going to propose.
Travis is getting crazy. I don't know what to do. I don't want to be with him. Yeah, I'm ready to tell him no, which again is not the signals she was giving out to him though. No. Right? Like she seemed excited. She seemed like she wanted to kiss him when I don't know. Seems like she's throwing out the mixed signals. She definitely is not giving him like, I want to get married to you.
But
she's not giving him, I don't want to be with you.
Yeah.
Other than, hey, here's a surprise guy I brought home.
Yeah.
But we know that she's telling the truth. The reason that she invited him.
Because he didn't have anywhere to go on Thanksgiving.
So strange. But again, she tells Crawl all this, and he's just like, okay, well, tell him.
Tell him. The longer you wait, the worse it's going to be, right? She doesn't listen.
No. Of course not.
If she would listen to what people told her, a lot of this movie just wouldn't have happened.
Then we find out that they're going to go to a special dinner at the whole town. This is a country club. They say country club.
They say country club. This looks
but again, it looks like it's the whole town, right? Is the whole town in the country club?
the meeting room at the Marriott.
It's the VFW.
Something.
It's the VA hall.
Yeah, something.
It's I don't know.
It's not a country
Supper club. Right there
Yeah,
in the Midwest.
Something.
But it is definitely not a country club.
Yeah,
There's the big deer head up on the wall.
Right.
It looks like it could be the dance hall on the weekends or something. Not.
They just moved the tables out of the way.
Yeah. It's not classy.
No.
Not elegant. As soon as the meal starts. I mean, literally, like, she knew that when they got there, he was most likely going to be trying to propose.
Yeah.
He didn't give no time. I mean, they sit down
as
practically.
soon as they sit down.
He's like, he sees her and is like, oh, it's my time. Stands up, ding, 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 ding. Starts to immediately get in a proposal. And so she stomps on Crawl's foot and she's like, do something. He doesn't know what to do. He freaks out. He panics. So he stands up. He's like, you can't, bro.
Yeah, sorry. I beat you to it. I asked her to marry me like
2 weeks ago.
Like 2 weeks ago.
Sorry, man.
Sorry.
And that's how he said it too. Sorry, man.
He starts to leave and he's like, oh, dude, no, don't worry. She never cheated on you.
Which is so crazy.
Right.
Though. Never cheated on you. And you're like,
but you asked her to marry you? Fuck you, dude.
man, that's some dedication.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, so now we see they go home. Everybody is very surprised, bewildered. They don't know what to do, how to handle another secret conversation between
They're
mom
in
and
the
dad.
closet or pantry or something. He's like, what do we do? Can we ground her? We're parents, damn it. We can do that.
I think that would just make her go towards him more.
All right. I'll hold him. You hit him with a shovel.
Yeah, he gets crazy.
He's going straight to murder. He's like, we'll
gets
bury him out in the
crazy.
field.
Dad gets crazy quick for sure.
Yeah, he does. He get this fucking weird guy out of my house.
And we see Becca having the conversation with Crawl in the barn, right? And she's like, what? What were you thinking?
Right, what are we going to do about this?
And he's like, I don't know. You stepped on my foot. First thing that came to my mind.
Right. But, I mean, they go with it. What else are you going to do at this point?
Well, I mean, because it did work.
Yeah.
Travis is no longer engaged or going to be trying to
be engaged
to her, which was the goal. So she did get what she wanted.
Just extreme way to do it.
So when they get back, we see more of Theo's a bit more of an asswipe.
Yeah.
Of course, because he can't help himself.
No.
He has to be. But then is the conversation with all of the men folk outside.
Yeah, on the porch.
Yeah, because they're like, exactly.
What are you
now
gonna
that they
do?
know that he wants to be engaged and be part of this family, how are you going to take care of my daughter, my granddaughter? You know, like
my employer's daughter.
Right? Again, why is Theo
there?
always? Again, this is my point. He's such an ass. We always see him be an ass. Why is he even here?
Right? They act like he's part of the family, but not.
Because what time is it? It's
Right?
after dinner.
Yeah, why is he still fucking here?
I don't fucking know, dude. But so they're all like, what are you going to do? And he goes, I don't know. I think I can be a farmer.
Yeah,
I think I could do it.
because well, somebody has to take over after you retire and shit. They all get a good
And
laugh out of that.
well, and then he said, I can be a farmer, 9 to 5.
9 to 5.
They all start 9 to 5.
Right.
Yeah. So they're like, okay, you want to work with us?
You have old
We'll
Theo.
put you to work tomorrow.
We'll have Theo show him the ropes.
And so then we get him woke up at the butt ass crack of dawn the next day because he said he was going to go to work.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
unfortunately, it is not 9 to 5.
No, it's ass crack dawn with the rooster crowing and everything. But Theo has to go in there and drag his ass out of bed because he's not used to it yet. But then we get the
He feeds the animals.
feeds. He goes to
This is great. So first it's to feed the cows and he's got the bags they can't even hold and he's falling over into the troughs. Then it's pigs and feeding them the slop.
Again, Theo being a dick, he unleashes the big pig and it knocks him over.
Into the slop. Ugh.
And Theo just straight up throws him in a pile of shit, doesn't he? He just pushes him into it.
Yep. And then the tractor.
Oh, yeah.
Theo's like, oh, let me help you.
Yeah,
With the tractor.
You start it by doing this and then put it in first gear
And back it up.
and give it lots of gas. So, of course, it goes forward right through a fucking fence.
That is literally inches away. I mean, there's no way he would not have gone through that fence.
Yeah, a little bit after this when the dad's like, you owe me like $1,000 for damn. No, fuck you. Theo owes you
yeah, 'cause
$1,000.
Theo's the
This
reason
is
that he
all
went through
his
the fence.
fucking fault.
For sure. Then we see Crawl trying to milk a cow.
Yeah, he goes and squeezes one of them and it pisses all over his head and he's just like, oops, wrong button. And he just looks so sad too when he says, he's just like, yep, that's the end of my shitty day that I've had right here.
Then it's dinner time.
Yeah.
We hear Dad making fun of poor Crawl and getting pissed on and all of the antics that happened to him in the farm. Pappy's getting a good kick out of it.
Yeah.
You can see Mom, though.
Yeah, Mom's trying to stop it.
She's on the turn.
Yeah.
So far, So far,
Dad's
it's
being a huge
well. So
dick
far,
here.
we've seen Crawl has won over the brother.
Yeah.
He's like halfway and won over mom.
Yeah.
So she's like,
I mean, he's weird, but
he's trying.
He's trying.
He's out there.
He's out- yeah,
he
he's
didn't
out-
have to do that.
No, he didn't have to
He
do
could have
any of
stayed
it.
inside. He is just a guest on our farm.
which is true. You did not have to do any of that.
So she's definitely starting to. She's kind of turning sides.
Yeah.
So why give him a break, guys? You gotta keep picking on him.
But then it just degenerates into a huge argument. And then
Mm-hmm.
Crawl's like, all right, I get the problem here. It's me. Before I got here, you all were like the Waltons and shit, right? So I'm gonna leave. And he goes to leave and he does it real slow. And he keeps turning like, huh? Like he's waiting for him to like be like, no, it's fine. Stay. And
They're just gonna let him go.
Yeah, they're gonna
Finally,
let him go.
Mom steps in.
Or no, it's Becca. Becca jumps up and she's like, fine, I'm gonna leave.
Well,
too.
no. Becca says she's gonna, but Mom's the one who says. Mom is the one who literally
Yeah.
says, "Stop this.
Yeah,
this
this
is
has gone
bullshit.
too far."
This is all stupid." Becca wasn't trying to stop it. Becca was keeping on to
She's
it.
like, fuck you. If you're gonna let him go, I'm gonna go too.
Yeah, Becca
Then Mom's like, no, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
Everybody just fucking stop. Sit the fuck down.
We're done. This is over. Yeah, that's what I was getting at. That Mom was the one who stopped it.
Yeah.
Becca was just fuel to the fire, is what
Yeah.
Becca was doing. You know, during this whole conversation, Dad had backhanded comment towards Zach about how Zach doesn't even help on the
do
farm, so
anything.
he can't try to defend Crawl.
Yeah.
And so once everything's settled and everything's calmed down, Crawl says, "I'm gonna go do some more work," and Zach says, "I'll go with you." And this is the moment where again we see he's half won over Mom. This probably is extra points towards Mom. We don't get to see her face, so we don't know for sure.
we don't get a
But we
reaction.
see that he's starting to win over Dad.
Yeah, because we get his
He's never
reaction.
been able to.
He's just like, oh,
you can tell he's never been able to get Zach to do
shit,
anything.
he actually went and did something. Fuck.
We see that Zach teaches him how to milk a
How
cow.
to milk the cow. Finally, he's like, yo, just be careful of that button right there. That one's.
It's just like squeezing a titty.
He's over. He's like, I don't know, man. I've had my hands on some pretty gnarly nugs out in California, dude.
Now's when we get the montage, right?
montage.
We get the montage of
Him
he has
figuring
figured it out. He has figured out
farm.
how to farm LA style.
LA style.
Right?
He's got
so
the-
we see the most efficient. They want to make
Yes.
fun of him. They act like it's outrageous, it's crazy, but he
Yeah.
slaps on the roller blades. He
and puts the feed
rips open
bags
the
on
feed
his
bags
bag
on his shoulder and goes down the lane, fills up both sides as
at the
he's
same
going.
time as he's going down.
In far less time.
Oh, yeah.
Even than Theo's big ass could have been carrying them
definitely
bags.
genius. He's working smart, not hard. Fuck you guys.
Yeah, I don't care
And
what
he
they want to
fixes the
say.
fence.
He fixes the fence. He goes to feed the slop.
Yep. And Theo tries to do the same bullshit, and he
jumps on the pig.
He rides the pig. Woohoo!
He's got it figured out.
Yeah.
Farm life. He's tackled farm life
he
now.
has.
It got the best of him before, and he's getting the best of it now. Until he
sees
thinks
that.
he's having a triumphant moment. He sees the combine under the tarp.
Yep.
Gets inside. He's just kind of playing around. Having fun.
He's just playing
He
with
sees
it.
there's a tape. Some John Denver.
Some John Denver, buddy.
So he's like, I want some John Denver. I want to play some John Denver.
Yeah, it won't work.
So he starts everything up and puts the tape in.
Turns the key.
Engine goes.
And he starts.
He hears the tape. Thank God I'm a country boy.
Right.
He's just bouncing around.
Yeah.
Now, I've got so many problems with this because
The combine moves.
he would have known.
He should have felt
that thing
it
is
move.
big.
Yes.
There's momentum. You would feel that.
Yeah, the second it jerk you and shit. you
Next
would
problem. Theo, dickheaded asshole, definitely heard it. I
know.
don't care what he wants to
He's only
pretend.
like 100 feet
He
away.
heard that thing. And instead, as the dad points out when he runs outside to try to stop it here in a moment, it is a $250,000 piece of equipment. So Theo risks the $200,000 piece of equipment just to be an asshole across. This is my point. He's
Yeah.
a dick beyond dick levels of dick.
Yeah, he's just trying to. He's just hoping that Kroll will
Yeah.
get in a shit ton of trouble.
So Crawl finally realizes once the tarp is
Yeah, the
gone.
tarp gets caught on something, and he's just like, "Oh, fuck, I'm driving." But
And so he's just he
just leans into it. He's like,
He's
"Oh
like,
well,
"Okay,
hell,
I'll do
I'm
it."
driving." Goes
So
in
he
the
drives.
cornfield, cutting some corn. Can I
He
get
sees,
some butter, please?
he sees Theo. He says, "I'm gonna get you, big boy." And he
Chasing
goes
in
after
with
him.
the thing.
Thankfully, Theo
Yeah.
getting what's coming to him right
Fuck
here.
Theo, fucking asshole.
And then he finally rolls out, and they pan above him,
Yeah,
and we
because
see,
there's a plane that goes over, and it
he had
written
wrote crawl in the field,
cornfield.
which, as I pointed
Yeah,
out
pointed
to you
out to me
earlier,
earlier.
is a nod to Steven
the,
Tyler.
Yeah, the
Aerosmith, crazy
Crazy
video.
video.
Again, he loves Steven Tyler, man.
Apparently.
Steven Tyler PJs.
Steven Tyler PJs.
He loves Steven Tyler.
who doesn't, man? Steven Tyler's great.
So he had carved Crawl into the field. Well, you know, we had one day where he had a shitty day in the field.
And
We
today
had one
he had a
day
nice,
we had a successful day
one.
in the field. Here's going to clean up from the day, right?
Yeah.
Here's the shower running. He thinks it's Becca. Again, I want to point out.
They're not actually engaged.
So it's really
a
uncomfortable.
little weird that he did this.
Either way.
Either way.
Like, it's uncomfortable because it ends up being her mom. But would it not have still been uncomfortable if it was Becca?
Because they're not actually engaged. They're just friends. You can't just go grab an ass when somebody's in the bathroom.
Thank you. Right? It was weird.
Seek permission before grabbing any ass.
But so she is very startled. And then he basically is like, look, woman, we can make you better.
Yeah, look at this. Like,
Give me some time.
You got a great base here. Like, let me do some work.
She gets very flattered and she's like, fine.
Yeah.
It's because it's line dancing night. We don't know that yet, but it's line dancing night.
It's line dancing night.
So she agrees. And then that's when we see them go again. This is a town where everybody was at the country club for dinner that night. Everybody is at the line dancing thing. And so she shows up with Crawl. Walter's already there. How did this happen? We've always seen them ride all together in that fucking. They're going 9 deep. No,
do they even have another car?
I don't know. They're always 9 deep in the pickup truck.
In the pickup truck.
I have no explanation for this moment. But somehow
they took the combine.
I guess
that's
somehow Crawl and Connie show up separate from everybody else because Walter's already there.
Yeah.
Walter sees her. Everybody's like, she's drop dead gorgeous. Yeah. Another guy tries to ask her for a dance. Walter, no, you won't. She's like, I didn't know if you'd like it. I think I should change it. And he said, no. And she gave all credit to Crawl, as should be done. This is the Zach moment, kind of won him a little bit over. Yeah. This moment gets Daddy Walter a little bit more. He's like,
yeah, he ain't that bad.
Well, he's doing some good things.
Right.
My wife's hot.
My wife's hot. Look at the wood I gave him. That's what Pauly Shore says when he's just like, look at the wood I gave him. Swing your partner around we go.
Yeah, the square dancing announcer.
Talking? Not really singing.
Whatever he is.
Yeah, the talker, guy. Announcer.
The guy who tells you what to do.
Call guy.
He decides.
Write in the comments. Somebody.
Yeah, if you're into square dancing and you know what that dude is, what their title is, tell me.
Because I have no fucking idea.
Clue. But so Pauly Shore Crawl sees him.
Right.
Crawl sees him take a break. Go get something to drink. And so he says, now's my time. So he jumps on the microphone. Round and round and up.
Grab your nug if she's tasty. Leave her something crusty. I don't know.
It's Pauly Shore.
It's Pauly Shore stuff.
Yeah. All the way.
Square dance style. But everybody's
into it. Yeah. Except for announcer
guy. He just doesn't like that.
He got upstaged. He got upstaged. He tries to throw him off the mic, but even Walter defends him and says, give him a chance.
Yeah.
Everybody's having a good time. Buff the wood.
Buff the wood.
Buff the wood. That's his square dancing.
Right.
Buff the wood.
Buff the wood.
Next morning, everybody wakes up. So at this point, we can officially say, though, he has won over mom, brother, dad. Just leaves Pappy.
Yeah, Pappy, not quite.
And so we get the scene. They're going to go fishing. He sees his in because his fishing was just going to be dad and Pappy. They were trying to bring Zach. But Zach said no.
No, I'm busy playing my fishing game. I don't want to go fishing. I'm already fishing.
Oh, classic.
I feel like that's a thing that happens.
But then you can even see, and you can even see like Pauly Shore, like Crawl's face. Crawl gets, he's insulted by the fact that Zach was like turning down his family.
Yo, kid, you should go fishing with your dad.
And so he says, I'll go. So he goes fishing with him. Dad and son, Walter Sr., Walter Jr., they get at it. You can tell this is their normal.
Yeah,
this is what happens when they go fishing
every
together.
Time.
Right? You can tell.
You're fishing wrong.
This is why Zach doesn't want to be there.
Yeah, this is exactly why Zach doesn't be there. He doesn't want to hear Grandpa and Dad argue about who's fishing the right way.
Paul gets in the middle of everything. At first, seeming like he's trying to be on Pappy's side, right? He stands by Pappy, so Pappy feels like he's in the right. Yeah. But then Pappy's like, I'm gonna go fishing down here,
he goes
away from you guys. And that's when he has a heart to heart with Dad, letting us know just how much they have become friends now, right? There's no way Dad in the beginning would have had this talk.
He'd have told him to just shut the fuck up
with Crawl. It never would happen.
But they talk about how like Zach likes his computers, and that's cool. He's not really asking you to do it with him. Just let him.
Just encourage him.
Encourage him and let him have his space to do his thing.
Yeah, everybody does something different. Just like you fish different than your daddy fishes.
Exactly.
Like we understand that it's all fishing, but it's still different.
He looks at Crawl and he's just like, yeah, well, who asked you? You did. Literally 5 seconds ago. You asked me.
And then they look over, though, and what do we see?
Oh, Pappy's dropping down, clutching his chest.
No.
Oh, shit.
No.
Emergency.
Dad runs. Dad runs to the truck.
To
We
go
don't
get-
know what. We do know,
Yeah,
because we see it in a minute, to get his pills. Crawl doesn't know that. So Crawl's like, I need to help. And he runs over.
CPR. Pappy's dying. What do? Mouth to mouth.
He starts to reach down.
Okay, I want to point out, if he is unconscious and not breathing, then you do CPR and mouth to mouth. Pappy was conscious, breathing, clutching his chest. Mouth to mouth is the last thing he needs.
It was bad. He reaches down. He gets
like
almost
an
nose
inch,
almost nose to
nose, and Pappy's eyes open. He's,
What are you doing?
they both scream, and about that time, Walter shows up with the pills. He's like,
What's going on?
That son of a bitch tried to kiss me.
Here I am. I just needed my pills.
I'd rather die, and then pops the pill in his mouth.
By the time it's all over, they get home. We hear they're laughing about it,
Yeah.
telling the story to everybody.
Everything's fine.
Pappy's even like, he was trying to kiss me,
me.
laughing about
Yeah.
it. You can tell this is the moment he won Pappy over.
Yeah, 'cause
because as upset as he
was
was
gonna
in the
help.
moment, it was all from a genuine place of helping him.
Yeah.
He was trying to make sure Pappy didn't die.
Yeah, even though he kind of
So he respects it.
went about it in a weird way. He's had a change of heart here because he's bonded with the dad and the papaw.
Yeah, that's
And
right. That's right. They go to have their conversation.
He wants to talk to Becky. He's like,
and they go to her ivory tower.
her ivory fucking tower that she has of a room.
Yeah, and he's like, look, we
Miss
can't.
Rapunzel.
Yeah, he's like, we can't keep doing this.
Yeah,
you
I
got to
did.
tell them the truth. If you won't, I will.
I will. So
But he took me fishing.
yeah, we bonded. Like
We
I
can't-
like these people.
We
Like,
can't keep
I
telling
don't
them
want
this
to do
lie.
this
And so she's like,
anymore.
okay, you're right. You're
Yeah.
right.
And then he goes outside and he's like leaned up against post, and Theo comes up and he's being nice. Theo's being nice for a second. He's just like, "Hey, city,"
Until he throws him into the
until he
pen.
throws him into the turkey pen.
Says, you got to kill dinner.
You got to kill dinner, and then he gets attacked by a giant turkey.
And again, this is not the dinner for that night. This is the dinner for tomorrow. This is Thanksgiving.
The Thanksgiving turkey.
So this is I only said that because I want to point out this was a turkey that was meant to feed a family plus Theo.
Yeah, plus
which means it's a
Theo.
lot of turkey.
This turkey was easily 2.5 feet tall. It was huge.
This turkey was half dinosaur.
Yeah.
I was afraid. I would not have gotten inside that pen with that turkey.
Even with the big ass cleaver, I'm still not doing it.
And so what? Crawl doesn't know what to do.
So he does the Pauly Shore.
He lets out the
howl.
weasel scream.
The weasel scream. That I can't.
Yeah, no, I can't hit the high pitch.
No, it
would
way too
crack my
high.
voice so bad.
But
yeah, he lets out the
he
weasel.
hits the special note,
And-
and it gives the turkey a heart attack.
and think
Temporarily disables. I don't know what happened.
well, as of right now,
We
in the
think it's
movie,
dead.
we think it's dead. Everybody thinks it's dead. We
It's
see
in
them
the-
take it inside.
In the kitchen, they're
and they're all
laughing
staring
about
at it like Pappy. Pappy goes, "It had a heart attack," because he almost had it. He's just
almost
cracking
had
up at
one.
it. He's like, "The heart attacks are following you
Right.
around."
It's all your fault. You give people heart attacks.
And so they're like, "Well, you know what the rule is, though."
You kill it. You got to clean it.
And Crawlis literally looks at him. He goes, "Why are you
making
doing this
do
to me?"
Right? Like, why are you making me do this? Like, very serious. The most serious he's been the entire fucking movie.
Definitely.
Just dismayed. Looks
like-
over at him like,
He's
"Why
like,
are
"Well, boy,
making
you
me
got to
this?"
do it though. It's
Correct.
farm life."
Yeah, it's part of being a farmer.
And so he grabs one
one
feather.
feather.
He grabs one feather, pulls it out. As soon as he pulls it out, we find out turkey
Turkey's
not
not
dead.
dead.
Not dead.
And rampages around the kitchen. Is so funny.
And as soon as it does, Travis shows up to the door
Yeah, to pick him up for the bachelor party.
that he's throwing
That
for
he's
him,
throwing.
which was super questionable when it was brought up. It's more questionable now.
Yeah.
I don't like anything about it, as no one should, because Travis is definitely a low-life piece
Low
of
life
shit.
dick.
Again, so far in the movie, we actually haven't seen that. It's all just assumptions about him.
Yeah.
He's not outright. We don't find that out until very shortly here, right? Oh,
Yeah.
no. During the dance scene, we saw it, right?
Yeah.
Could have been all avoided if he just would have said
Said
something
something
to
to
Becca about seeing the two of them,
Travis and Tracy talking.
The T's.
Yeah.
The two T's talking to each other. Other than that slight hint of something, because technically at that moment they were split up.
Yeah. And he did say that he just wanted to be nice.
So we don't know, but we do. He is a tool.
Yeah, he's a fucking dickhead.
Everything about him reads tool. We get to the dance. I mean, literally, as soon as we get to the bar,
Barn bar?
as soon as we get there, they immediately dump pills into his beer.
Yeah. A fuck ton.
I mean, we're talking about
no matter what those were.
Well, again, they were Theo's, right?
Yeah.
We know that. So no matter what, even if he was just like, I'm giving them a dose that I take,
Theo's
he's
a-
5 times their
Yeah.
size. size.
Pauly Shore is like 125 pounds.
Soaking wet.
He is easily 350. He is a big dude, 6'4", big fat country boy.
He's lucky he didn't kill him.
Right?
Jeez.
I don't care what they put in it.
I don't care. And how did it dissolve that fast?
Right?
Like that was over half the drink should have been pilled.
Right? Should have just been in the bottom of the
Should have
cup.
tasted chalk.
Right?
Well, no, he doesn't. He drinks this. He drinks it down.
Yeah, chugs
he
it
starts
down.
getting into the party.
Yeah, he
Next
goes
thing
up to do karaoke.
Tracy shows up
interrupts, does some striptease.
because apparently Travis's bright idea was to have his new fling, which is apparently the person he's been cheating on his girlfriend with, give a lap dance to his ex-girlfriend's new boyfriend.
The fuck, dude?
And then set her up.
And then set her up like some
Because
kind
they
of
also
hoe.
drug her.
Yeah, they drug
with
her
the
too.
same amount of drugs. I don't even know. We don't see what they put in hers, but we can assume it's the same amount of drugs.
Yeah, I don't think Theo was thinking too
Well,
much.
Theo didn't do that one, right? We saw Travis was the one. He grabs the drink
Oh
for
yeah,
her.
he grabs the one for her, making it even more of a dickhead move.
So now they've drugged two people. They're very, very rough shape. They collapse. Night's over. They wake up the next morning together.
Half naked in the barn. Becca finds them.
Becca finds them. It's now Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
It's officially, Turkey Day. She finds them. She's upset.
But they clearly don't. Especially
They don't remember anything.
Especially poor Tracy, because she's like
She doesn't even know. She's
Yeah,
never.
like,
We can assume she's never been on this
Carl even looks
property.
at her and is just like, did we? Like, and she's just looking at him like, I don't even know where the fuck we are right now.
We see Becca gets Superman. She's yelling at Crawl.
She
He's
wants-
trying to tell the truth.
Yeah, he's like-
tells her like, I don't remember any of it. She doesn't buy it. She's like, no, it's and it's like, dude,
You're a hypocrite. And he's
Yeah,
just like, you want to talk hypocrite? Have you told anybody the truth about
yeah,
what's
you
actually
can't talk to
happening?
me.
You can't
well, he
talk to
pieces
me.
it together too. He's
Yeah.
like, wait a minute, you knew
Right.
before, right?
Why did you even bring me here?
Yeah, he pieced it all together.
Yeah,
he was like, look, you
you-
used me.
You knew
Try to talk to
dude
me.
was going to propose to you, so you brought me here to shield you from that.
And so he packs up. He's leaving. We see Tracy at the same time. She's hopping in her car to leave.
But it's the
Theo's in the background laughing. Big
he makes
dopey
the
ass.
days of our lives crash.
She gets into her.
Oh yeah, she gets in her car in the seats.
What kind of car is it?
Or a nice ass sweet Trans Am, buddy.
I was about to say, come on, you know you want to say something.
Sweet
You
black
knew
Trans
you
Am. I want one so bad.
You knew you wanted to say something.
did.
I had to make sure you didn't forget. But yeah, so she gets in. She
Any
sees
chance there's a Trans Am, man. I
she
want
sees
it.
the seats are way jacked up.
Yeah, they're way in
and-
the back.
And so she's just like, well, I can't. This isn't
Before
right.
she can even really like process it, though, Travis shows
well,
up.
exactly. Before she can think about it, Travis pops in. He gives her a guilt trip. The kind of guilt trip she could have killed herself over.
Yeah, it's just like, you're a terrible person. I thought we had something.
When he knows
that he's the one that did it.
and that nothing happened.
Yeah.
It's sick, dude.
He
Sick.
did it because he's just trying to two birds, one stone
Yeah.
this shit. He's trying to get rid of his side bitch and Crawl at
yeah.
the same time.
And so then we see Becca invites him back to dinner
which is weird.
because she didn't want to be with him either
But she
way.
didn't really invite him. He kind of
Yeah, but she could have just
weaseled his way in.
She could have still been
somehow.
like
she
no.
could have said no,
because she
but
didn't want to be engaged to him either way.
yeah, to begin with.
Regardless of this new stuff, this is to add on to the slight moment where they almost kissed but didn't.
Yeah.
To say that they have feelings, I don't know. They very poorly set up these feelings that may or may not be going on between her and Crawl.
Yeah.
Very poorly. We see them, they go inside, they're going to have dinner. Everybody there is about to start dinner.
Yeah.
Now that the other two have left. Tracy's driving down the road. Crawl moves quick.
Yeah, he's really far
Because
away.
he's pretty,
with his
he's a
sign.
decent clip away from their property
Yeah, he's
already.
got a Hollywood please sign.
So she pulls over because she
found the pills.
well, she found the pills and she really started to think about the thing. So she whips the the car
fuck-
around,
Yeah. Which you can do really easily in a Trans Am. Just saying.
picks up Crawl, and he's like, "I just really wish I knew if I was any good."
Right.
Well,
Which
is a well to imply
Like-
because we know now after you see it that it's
nothing happened.
very open ended.
Yeah.
But so then we get dinner. They're about to start saying they're
Again, Travis doing another fucking speech.
dude, he's just
This
a
is not
tool.
your fucking
he's about
house.
to he's about to propose. Even though
Propose
again,
again.
nobody ever said that anything changed.
No, she didn't even say that we were dating again.
Thankfully, he gets interrupted by
By
Crawl
Crawl.
again. It's 2 times.
Right.
He walks in, him and Tracy come bursting in to be like, look, we know what went down.
Right.
And this is what it's Scooby-Doo style. They're
Yeah.
like, this is what happened.
It was
they did
Old
this,
Man Jenkins.
and they did this, and they did this. And so they're just like, like they drugged us.
Yeah.
And we know because her seat was too far back. Had to be an awfully big boy. Isn't that right, Hoss? Ding!
Yeah. Fucking looking over at Theo, and he's just like, oh, shit.
And so they know, they're letting him know. And so then all of a sudden, Dad's like, Theo, is this true?
Now, your job depends on it.
Oh, shit, Walter. It was just a joke.
I didn't figure anybody would get that mad about it. Hell.
And so...
Fuck, dude, okay.
They drug...
Okay.
This would be a sex crime.
Yes, this is a sex crime. You both are going to fucking jail in
like
the real
literally
world.
like think about this. Like this would be an episode of SVU. If they would have drugged these two people and then these two people had sex with each other while being in a state where neither one of them could have been giving consent to have slept with each other.
Yep.
But neither one of them drugged the other one. Some outside party drugged the both of them. This is some SVU level episode type shit.
Yeah, you're going to go to jail. The end of this movie realistically should have ended with Travis and Theo in handcuffs.
Oh, definitely.
Even if they don't get it for sexual assault, you drugged somebody, poisoning. I mean, like attempted murder. Like there's a few things we can get you for.
Drugs.
Yeah, oh God, he just dumped those pills in that thing.
But so then Theo gets told he's fired. He's got to leave. Travis tries to be like, you can't talk to me like this because Becca's telling him off.
Yeah,
and
she's
then
telling him to leave. And
Crawl's like, oh, but I can.
I can't. Karate, 2 semesters.
Majored in karate for 2 semesters. And then he does the fake Chinese, like, kung fu laugh.
Kung fu laugh.
Everybody laughs.
Yeah, everybody did. It was good.
We passed over that before this happened, Grandpa gave his speech.
Oh, shit. I wrote it down. Hang on.
Where he mentions the munching on the grindage.
Pappy goes full weasel. He's just like, it really tweaks my melon to see a buff bro like Crawl get wheezed on by a greasy scumbag like you.
Yeah.
So you just chill.
So again, that was the moment we skipped over it. I had to roll back because that was our official.
Awesome.
That was our first time we officially see Grandpa's fully on board with Crawl. Like, and we saw that he laughed and had a good time about the kissing thing.
Yeah,
but this was like the full on like he's on board.
This is my boy right here.
He's talking like him. He loves him. He's the one.
Wheezed.
Yes, he loves. He loves him.
That made me laugh so
and so they're ready. They're about to toss him out. Walter tells Theo to take Travis out the door. Theo, the only time I agree with anything this man did in the entire movie, says, I don't work for you.
You deal with his ass, and then gets up and leaves.
Rightfully so.
And Tracy's like, I'll deal with him. And they're like, no.
You stay for dinner.
Stay here. You're good peoples.
She sits next to Zach, who's giving the titty squeeze.
Yeah, he scooches up next to her. She's doing a little squeeze. There's like, you wish, buddy.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
Wish.
Oh, my God.
We all wish.
Yes. Come on now. But so that...
Miss Kapowski, call me.
That's a happy meal. They're all having a good Thanksgiving together. They're about, well, it's not quite over yet because we're about to see, they're going to be like, so what about this engagement?
Yeah.
Are you guys still trying to, when's the date? And so she's about to stand up and tell the truth.
Yeah.
Exactly what he's been wanting.
But then he stops her. He's like, well, we
decided we want to do a long
gonna...
engagement. No rush on anything.
Yeah,
we're just going to...
So are they dating now?
Because again, like I said, they did
just tell them that so they can go back to school and then quote unquote break up.
Because again, it's so open ended because they did such a piss poor job of setting up a relationship. Because we see like one broken kiss that almost happened, and then her upset that she thought he slept with Tracy.
He says, "I'm into you," but like.
That's it.
That could mean fucking a lot of shit.
There's so much, dude, to make that leap.
I'm a little upset by the end of the movie.
We need Son-in-Law 2 to clear this up.
Son-in-Law 2, I'm down.
Pauly Shore.
I'm down.
If you don't have a script, let us know. I'll try to help. I'll brainstorm something for you. But I want to know. Even if I have to come up with what it is, I want to know.
Right, and we need to make it canon.
What this happened? What happened?
Did you all go back to school? Did you break up?
What's your input?
Is there a real wedding?
Let us know.
Son-in-Law 2, the wedding.
Right. Let us know what you think. Reach out to us.
Just call me.
That's
you got my number.
Again, that's KentuckyFriedCritics@gmail.com.
Right. Polly, come on.
All right, guys, but that's it. That was the movie. We're all finished there. All right, guys. You know, we generally wrap up with a review of our drink. Normally, it's an actual drink that we might be recommending because it's like a specialty beer or something. This is a screwdriver. If you don't know what a screwdriver is, I don't know if I can tell you.
Have you ever been to high school?
Or college. Again, this is not top shelf. This is bottom shelf.
Oh, fuck.
We are living true to both high school / college / like the movie would
Yeah.
make you think. We're drinking what you might think they were drinking in that dorm party. Okay,
Yeah, it is what it is, buddy.
did us good for the.
For
it did
the-
us good for what we needed it
Oh,
to
yeah.
do. What are we gonna be drinking next week though?
Next week I'm going to get fancy. I'm going to get nice, prim, proper with a nice fine Chardonnay, sir.
Drinking some wine.
Oh yeah, we're going to drink some wine.
It's another first for us, right?
Yeah,
we just keep breaking new grounds, dude. We got a mixed drink this week.
mixed
some
drink.
wine
We
next
did
week?
Straight up whiskey one week.
So again, that's gonna be our last Thanksgiving one, guys.
Yeah.
Think about that. Keep that in mind. Chardonnay,
Chardonnay.
Thanksgiving.
Good luck with that.
I think we're done.
All right, you got your weasel wear, man?
Yeah, I was like, there's no short way, long way. That's right way, wrong way.